Hello, welcome to So Make. This is Donna, and I'm showing you my latest journal page. This is an A4 page from Art by Marlene's perfect size journal. I've already produced the background, which is an acrylic wash with one of her blues, and I've also put in kind of like a rug, a mat, in the middle there, using another one of her stencils called Oodles of Doodles. And I've also used her Frantic Deco stencil for the white trellis kind of effect in the background there as well. I'm going through and using the leaf stencil, which again is from Frantic Deco. That's a really versatile stencil. There's lots of different patterns on that stencil, and you can really build up your page using those different patterns. What I'm doing here, I'm using a sponge and just stippling in different colour greens to provide a leafy kind of a leafy frame at the top. You know, just these dangling down of vines. That's kind of the effect. And what I'm doing is just using different shades of green. So I've got dark through to yellows and whites, and just to give the effect of some depth, and the light coming in as well. So here's some kind of yellow as well, just to give a bit more of a greeny yellow colour. And then a bit of white just to add the effect of the sun coming in and shining on the vine as well. So that's the vine, and then I'm going to work using these flowers. I've cut these out from one of Art by Marlene's collage books. Lots of different flowers in her books, and I like these because they're quite big, and I wanted something bold for the bottom of this journal page. Something that really kind of gave an effect of tropical. And then highlighting that flower with a white gel pen and using Art by Marlene sticky glue to stick it down. And again, I'm just going in with this white gel pen to enhance that trellis in the background and extend it, and also just differentiate that rug a bit more as well, that the bird is eventually going to sit on. So these larger leaves I've created using one of Art by Marlene's other leafy stencils. Again, I really like this stencil as well. Very, very versatile and really fabulous for this type of effect where you need something big, bold, and you can just manipulate those leaves to how you want them on your page. So I'm just giving them a bit more definition here and cutting out the leaflets a little better. And really this is so that you can see some of those background leaves that I did earlier. And I'm gluing them down using Art by Marlene's sticky glue. And then really starting to try and build up this effect of a really lush foliage effect in the background. I'm not too bothered about the edges because, as you can see here, I'm just cutting those off at the edge. Give it nice and tidy. Adding a few more flowers at the bottom. Yep, a nice big one there. Manipulating that inwards and again cutting off the edges. And then I'm sticking that on the other side. So I've essentially tried to build up where you've got smaller images in the background, because it's in the background, it will go away from you. then the larger images in the foreground. And then I've used her room stencil, her room stamp to produce that chair. I really like that chair. It's a very fancy chair. It's the sort of thing you would see kind of, you know, in some Victoriana type of fancy greenhouse. And I've chosen the yellow bird from her collage book. I chose the yellow because it stood out more from the blue and the red flowers. And then of course, you know, you've got to have a butterfly, haven't you, for the bird to be talking to. So the bird's singing to the butterfly, which is flitting around on the flowers. And I didn't want to busy this up too much, so I put a few more little flowers in there just to give an effect and see what they look like. Again, just the idea of a lush, tropical environment. And then around the edges, so I do like to have a frame around my journal pages. Around the edges, I've used Art by Marlene washi tapes. These are fab because they're quite sticky and you don't have to glue them down as well as the sticky stuff as well. So you literally just pull them off the reel and then stick them down. And I like this particular one because it kind of echoed all the colours in the journal page as well. So it's me finding the end there. And trying not to break it because of course washi tape is a little bit more delicate than normal paper. So pulling it off and then using a black marker pen just to give a bit of definition around those edges and make it framed. So yeah, it just kind of differentiated the frame from what's in the picture itself, so that the eye isn't kind of, you know, distracted too much and drawn away from the picture, as opposed to drawing the eye into the picture. And what I'm doing here is just providing a dark edge. So I can't remember if I'm using navy or black here, so it might be a navy to contrast with the colours more. But this navy acrylic pen, again, it's not by Marlene acrylic pen, and I'm just trying to take away any kind of hint that there's some paper underneath. Just cover the edges. And then I need to choose a sentiment. So I've got my little tub there with my Art by Marlene sentiments. Bit of tidying up, yet, put the holes back in again so I can put it back into the journal book. I think I've had this hole punch, oh gosh, many years. I think you can still get those as well. So having a rummage, I do like this stage where you've got your picture in front of you. You've probably produced it. I produce my picture. Sometimes I get a burst of inspiration at some odd moment of the day and I think I must do that. And I've got kind of an image in my head of what I want to create, but oftentimes I'm just sitting down and thinking, and having a rummage through what I've got, and then seeing how the day takes me and which way the journal page takes me, and then the sentiment then choosing is just a case of what feels right at the time. So this is me deciding how to chop that sentiment up and where to put it. It's always quite a big decision. This is chopping it up so it still makes sense, and then putting it on the page in places where it's not distracting from the main feature of the page, but is still readable and still feels like it's connected to your journal page as well. But it's not necessarily overpowering the page. It's an enhancement as opposed to a full statement, particularly this particular case anyway. So there you have it. A few final finishing touches with the gel pen, just to kind of make that sentiment stand out a bit more. It's always a fine balance, really, not having it disappearing into the page, but not overpowering the page. So just going around the edges. I'm not bothered about it being too neat and tidy, as long as it's just kind of vaguely outlined. And there you are. So putting it away. This is the Perfect Journal from the summer 2025 collection. Putting that with my my other pictures there. And there we are. Thank you very much for watching.